What up, guys? Eric, Underdogs of Addiction. I'm back, uh, and I'm back on my series of talking about some of our famous athletes and celebrities. And this one's dear to me because I grew up a big fan of Mike Tyson. Um, my dad always wanted me to be a boxer, so he would make me watch a lot of Mike Tyson fights in the mid and early '90s. But today's video, I just wanted to talk about Mike Tyson's open struggles with addiction, and what were the root causes, which a lot of us know. And my favorite teacher, Gabor Mott, is a big preacher and advocate that trauma and childhood adversity and childhood pain is the root cause of all addictions and a lot of inner turmoil. A lot of us know Mike Tyson's story. He's been pretty in-depth about the things he experienced when he was younger. Just to recap, obviously, we know that Mike Tyson's father abandoned the family at a young age. So me being someone who's experienced that too, that automatically puts a hole inside your heart, because as young men we look up to our father figures, and when your father's not around, especially if you knew who he was and he abandoned you, it makes you feel like something's wrong with you, because as a young man you need your father's pat on the back, you need your father's validation. You don't need a father to tell you everything to do, but you need a father to help guide you. And I could definitely relate to that experience Mike's had. I luckily myself, my father left, but I had a really good mother who took care of us and was there for me. Unfortunately for Mike Tyson, it sounds like his mom was a really bad alcoholic, probably from her own traumatic experiences. And there was a lot of physical abuse that was taken out on Mike. I've watched Mike's Hulu show, which I don't think he is promoting because they didn't pay him properly, but I've watched a lot of other stories about Mike. And and then we all know that he had to go to the detention center and do prison time or whatever for the rape allegations. And I just wanted to talk about more of Mike's openness about his addiction. He talks about how Mike is one of the most underappreciated intellectuals in the world, because who could, someone like him who comes from the absolute poverty in New York, and at one point I forget how much money he was worth, right? Was he in the billions? I'm thinking, I don't know, but probably a billionaire at some point. And he just talked about how empty it was, and how empty, none of that stuff made him feel great. And I think he talked about how he was very scared and stuff before fights, and that he would party the night before fights and do drugs, and towards the end of his career, or even the beginning, I forget. But that's not really the point. The point I'm getting at is, Custom Auto took Mike Tyson in, and Custom knew exactly. Custom knew exactly what Mike Tyson was missing, and he was missing that feeling that all children need, is to be heard and to be seen, and to have someone to believe in them. And Custom Auto was able to help Mike reach his full potential, but Custom was older and he passed away, and Mike got re-traumatized by losing that father figure, because then he was alone in the world again, and so he thought, because Custom was the only person he could really ever trust in his life. And it's been amazing to see he could be my father, he's like my dad's age, so it's been cool to see his journey from my childhood to see where he's at now, and him actually wanting to be alive and just being so peaceful and calm, and giving so much wisdom to the world. I mean, Mike has said some of the most prolific things. There's gonna be, when Mike passes, man, there's gonna be quotes and things from him that live on forever, because he has such a contrasting life that he was able to see and experience things that not many get to experience, and he has a whole wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And I believe that, like I say on a lot of these famous people I'm talking about in this video series, is that the contrast of you have these people who have natural gifts. Mike has genetic natural gifts, but his background, everything that he went through, it was like it was personalized for him. It was like divine, intervention, fate, for him to meet the people he met, and for him to become who he is. And when I talk about stories like this, and all of us in our own lives, whether we're famous or not, can draw these lines together, that there's a lot of things in your life that don't make sense, but then eventually they do. And once you accept everything about yourself and about your life, and say, this is my unique divine purpose that God has made for me, because everyone has one. Some of us are meant to be famous celebrities like Mike Tyson, others are meant to do other things. I do believe we all have a path to choose. We all can choose to try to see and find our true selves, or we can go down the darker path. And I feel like Mike Tyson went through all the ups and downs, and he still chose to go on the positive path, even through everything he's went through. He lost his daughter, his little girl passed away. He's lost a lot of things in his life, and it's just cool to see how his humility and his wisdom and his gentleness now, compared to the terrorizer that we all grew up knowing. And it's just another reminder. The message I'm trying to get across is to break the stigma of addiction and understand that addiction is only addiction really is only us trying to escape pain that is very uncomfortable, and for some of us unbearable. For the bottom 10% of people who are struggling with drug addiction, 100% their addictions are unbearable without intervention and true help. And that's just the facts. And a lot of people have narrow minds, and they want to say that everyone has a choice, and that's just not the case. Some people's pain is so heavy, their illnesses are so much of a burden that they cannot cope without self-medication. And Mike Tyson, I have nothing but respect for you. And this is not a video. None of these videos I'm making are to shame or put any of these celebrities down. It's to draw inspiration and just have some curiosity into peeking into their lives and understanding kind of the potions and the ingredients that make some of these successful, compelling figures. Mike Tyson is 100% an underdog of addiction. We all know his story, and he's overcame so much, and he's a true inspiration to the world and to myself. And so thank you guys for watching, and please comment below on your thoughts on this video.